That's even worse. Give me my money back.
Welcome to the Village Idiots podcast, powered by Lending Hand Mortgage and Big Step Media. Sponsored by Taylor Chambers with Exit Prime Realty. Listen as we cover the latest sports events, viral videos and memes, the latest games, and everyday topics in life. Let's get started. Welcome, everybody, to the Village Idiots podcast. My name is John. I'm joined here by my friends and co-hosts. We got Taylor.
What's
Logan,
going on?
and Nick. How you doing, guys?
Good, brother. How are you?
It's been a good day.
I'm doing good. Today was a good day. It was a PTO day. A PTO day that I probably didn't utilize correctly like I should have. But it was a good day. It's a nice, beautiful day here in Tennessee. It's a little warm for about to be October, but that's the way it is here.
True.
Yeah, it is a little bit warm. Should be a little cooler at this. I would figure it to be cooler at this point, but
Yeah, just wait till Halloween. It usually gets real cold towards into October.
yeah, it's like 90 and just
Well, Tennessee is one of those weird months where it could be 95 or it could be about 65. And I think we've had a couple of those days this month, and it's just gone up and down. There's a lot of people that are having bad allergy problems right now. That's
Me.
Tennessee in the fall and spring.
me.
You? Yeah. It's tough. It's tough out there, especially in the spring and fall. There's a lot of pollen going around, a lot of stuff. So, yeah, but that's Tennessee. Here we are. Welcome, everybody. Anything you guys want to add? How has your day been?
It's good.
Same thing, brother. Same thing.
Just same.
Strong silent on the far right. He said, "How was your day?" He goes, "It's good."
Well, I can't talk bad about my supervisor.
Is he sitting right next to you?
Yeah.
Is
You
the
talk about
supervisor in the room?
Do a whole lot of nothing.
Say.
Checked in a few guests.
Yeah. That sounds
Made some badges.
great.
Well, we got a lot to catch up on this weekend. We'll start with kind of some football talk. There was a lot of stuff that happened. There was not really too many surprises, I don't think. There was the tie that doesn't happen very often in the Packers and Cowboys game. I don't believe we are Americans. We don't play for ties. We don't play for ties. Even in hockey, if
They do
there's
in
a
soccer.
game,
You can tie.
that's
soccer,
soccer.
which is
We don't
weird.
do that here.
We don't care about
Yeah.
soccer.
We have a soccer team.
We do,
yeah.
but
And we're
I don't-
number 6 in the league of 50 or something like that
We need
teams.
an area for parking for the track.
Well, yeah,
That's
to be
correct.
honest, I think that was the worst design that had ever been made when they put the soccer field in. They were like, hey, we're going to throw this nice soccer field in here, but you know what? Figure out where you're going to park your car. So you got to pay $30 to park in somebody's driveway.
shout
That's ridiculous.
out to the soccer field though, because Nick, you've been to the area a lot where the Fairgrounds is. That has not been a traditionally great area.
No.
Since the soccer team has moved in, there has been some updo. There's going to be probably even more with the NASCAR heading there.
Mm-hmm.
But that's, it's on the way up. So for
Wait, before you take off now, because I want to get back to the tie thing.
that's what we're going. That's
Well,
where
see,
we're
I'll
going.
say, when I went to bed, it was still a tied game, and it went into overtime. I wasn't really worried about it. Woke up. That's not neither one of them are my team, so I'm not really pressed about the score. So I wake up, get in the truck, go to work here on the radio, finished in a tie. I'm like, ugh, that upsets me. I do not like ties in football at all.
There is a certain point where player safety becomes an issue, I think, but you just can't tie in sports, man. There's not in American sports. I don't think you should. Even in hockey, they do a shootout. They do something to where there is a definitive winner, and there is just, you can tie in football, and that shouldn't be a thing. Switch it to some form of the college overtime.
That's what I brought up at work.
Yeah,
I feel like if you
dude.
do that,
The
sometime of
Tennessee Mississippi State game.
Yep.
I saw that. I've never seen a college overtime. Just to clarify all of this, I did not watch college football or any sports at all up until like a month ago. I was just like, I had a wild hair. I was like, I want to watch a Tennessee game just to see what this is like. And I think we're playing. Was it ABU? UAB. I say that backwards all the time. UAB. I was like, man, that was a good game. And I talked to my dad about it, and he was like, that's like a high school team. And I was like, it was still a pretty good game. So then I bought a Tennessee polo, and now I'm all in it. So I watched.
That Mississippi State game was the first game you watched after
of an
the
SEC
game,
and they were.
So you missed the
after
Georgia
that.
game a couple of weeks before that.
Yeah, I did.
We lost in overtime.
Yeah, but I'd never seen college overtime, and generally overtime is always, hey, we're gonna go into one overtime. Whoever scores first, game's over. And then Tennessee scored. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, all right, Mississippi State's going to have their chance. And I was like, what? Mm-hmm. Are you serious? They give them a chance too?
Well, believe it or not, they actually changed that recently. It used to be, but you would go back and forth, touchdown for touchdown. Like, literally, it would go back and forth until if you look it up, there's been like a 7th overtime in college football back in the day. Now, since then, they changed the rules like a year or two ago. When it goes into overtime, you both get one chance to score that first touchdown, and then anything after that, you have to go for, you get your touchdown, then you have to go for a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, it was the 3rd overtime, wasn't it?
Yes. So you have to go for a 2-point conversion. If you don't convert, basically you go back and forth. If both teams score that touchdown and tie it up again, the second...
They go to the 1 yard line and see who can convert, right?
Yep, and if you continue, it's just 2-point, 2-point, 2-point. So eventually somebody's not going to convert a 2-point, and that'll be the end of the game.
See, for a month of watching this and I figured all that stuff out, I'm obviously paying attention.
Yeah. Look at you.
Speaking of which, Logan, how did you think the Tennessee Vols played? That was a tough game against a team they probably should have beat more than they did.
I don't know. I was not taking Mississippi State. Like, SEC is SEC, brother. You know how that goes. You're an SEC fan yourself, and we're not going to speak too much on it just yet. But
No. I am going to speak on that, actually.
No, I thought we played good ball. I expected it to be close. They're 4-0. They played decent competition. Nothing too crazy. I think we were the more tried team already playing Georgia. I think that makes a difference. But no, I'm just glad to get the win, man.
Wasn't it like 3 or 4 years straight Mississippi State hasn't won a single SEC game or something like that? I thought they said that on the broadcast.
So they haven't won their SEC season opener in 8 seasons.
That's what it was.
Now it's 9 as of...
That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah. Go Vols, baby. Go Vols.
But while we're on the college football talk, I've got some stuff to bring up. So most of you don't know. The listeners that we have are probably going to be close friends at this point. I'm a massive Florida Gators fan. I bleed orange and blue, but...
You got medicine for that now. You know that, right?
Well, someone's going to need some. Maybe even me. The situation that we have going on in Florida right now is, as a Gator fan, unacceptable. This is actually a week. We were on a bye week last week. Last week would have been the week.
Are you talking about the Miami game?
I am talking about the Miami game, that we dropped pretty embarrassingly too. That's an in-state rival. That's an important game. After that game, Billy Napier should have had to find his own way back to Gainesville. I don't think I would have allowed him on the private jet.
Just hoof it, yeah.
It's a bad look. The athletic director, Scott Strickland, has at this point neglected his responsibilities. If you have the opportunity to fix something and you do not, you are equally as responsible for the issues that's happening. Scott Strickland has not made a move. He should have probably made a move last year. We caught hot at the end of the year. That really bought Billy Napier another year this offseason. He has absolutely shit the bed. When I tell you how bad it is, we're past the mid part. Yeah. So for those of you wondering, we're trying to keep the swearing down in the first minute for the monetization purposes and stuff. But it's tough. When you fall behind in the SEC, you fall behind. Billy Napier, at this point, hasn't proven to be a good recruiter. The thing is, if you're going to be not the greatest head coach, you got to be able to recruit. He's not doing that at an elite level. He's coaching at literally the Sun Belt level, which is where we went and got him, which is a whole other embarrassing topic. The Gators shouldn't be getting anybody from the Sun Belt. It's at this point, he's a dead man walking. We've got one win against an FCS school, Long Island. Didn't even know they existed before week 1 of the season.
Is that an actual team? Because I've never heard of
real.
them.
I had to look them
Barely
up.
a team.
Really?
Yeah.
We beat them. We should have beat them. That's what it is. We've been just run through every week since. It's embarrassing. It's tough to watch. The regression from DJ Lagway is insane. He doesn't even look like the same guy. At this point, Logan can attest to this. You've got to cut ties. When you have a coach that should not be coaching, it only sets you back further without making a move. There needs to be a complete overhaul. Billy Napier has assets to work with at Florida. Most other 95% of college football coaches out there don't. there's no excuse for this. No end in sight other than a firing of the coach, which is inevitable. So we'll see. We'll see. We play Texas this coming week. That's going to be probably equally, if not more ugly than the Miami game. It's in Gainesville. So once, at this point.
At least you're at home.
No, look, this is what I told him. This is what I told him yesterday. I said, listen, I was like, this is the most Florida thing to do. You guys opened your season horribly last year, then went on a 5 or 6 game win streak. They closed the season out with like 6 wins straight to last year. Mm-hmm. I was like, you're 1-4. You're about to play Texas, who's in the top 10 in the nation, ranked in the top 10. I was like, it would be the most Florida thing for you guys to beat Texas, who's in the top 10, so that Billy gets to hang on to that job a little bit longer. You know what I mean?
I don't see that happening. Last year when we did that, there was at least a glimmer of hope in the beginning of the year. We didn't look like we didn't belong.
The Utah game was good. That Utah game at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, we had some good games that we didn't turn out the best. They should have just made a move. They didn't. We caught hot. But it is what it is. He's a dead man walking. We'll have Lane Kiffin in there next year.
Is it true that major colleges pay, like Tennessee paid UAB? Did I say it right? UAB?
No, so UAB doesn't count.
No, I'm saying like that's like the game where they're like, hey, come play us, but we'll pay you to play us.
Yeah, kind of.
Wasn't it like $3 million?
No. So UAB is a Division I FCS program, which means they're considered to be as on the level of Tennessee and Georgia and Texas. On the same level, right?
What is UAB? University of
Birmingham, Alabama.
What?
Or Alabama, Birmingham, something like that. Yeah, they're the Dragons.
I figured that, but I was like,
they're like the 8th school in Alabama.
They actually didn't have a football team like 2 or 3 years ago. They shut down the program and stuff around COVID times and stuff, and they just brought it back. Trent Dilford? Is that the head coach? Trent Dilford,
who's also a dead man walking. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so FCS schools, the smaller ones like Tennessee Tech, smaller school Austin Peay. That's an FCS school. They will pay them $1.2 million to come play. Yes,
that's what I thought. So it's basically like they're playing a high school team.
And the thing is when they pay a school to go and do that school. So like Austin Peay, they played Georgia this year. That Georgia game probably funds 80% of Austin Peay's entire athletic
for
department.
all of their sports across
God.
all. That's men and women's on both sides for all baseball, softball, everything. Yeah.
So.
I'd take an ass whooping for $1.2 million.
And most of them will play
for less.
They actually win.
Yeah.
That's even worse. Give me my money back.
App State beat Michigan. Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah,
hey, Tennessee got beat by Georgia. Georgia State. Before Georgia State was Division I.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's true. They pay them big money. The main, like John said, the main thing is just it helps pay for those schools' sports athletics for the entire year. On both sides. It's like, it's worth it.
Nice. I didn't know that. I mean, I just found out about the paying schools, but I didn't know how deep that went.
So we had some more stuff happen on Sunday.
Uh-oh.
That was the NASCAR race at Kansas. So
let's go, Bubba.
Bubba Wallace, shout out. He had a shot to win. And then his car owner took it away from him.
That's right.
Denny Hamlin. That's Denny Hamlin. That's kind of what he does.
Kind of disappointing being a Hamlin fan right now.
Didn't one of his teammates wreck into him?
His owner.
No.
Denny did? Oh, my God.
The owner cost him. Not only did Denny cost Joe Gibbs a win, he cost the 2311 a win.
Toyota as well.
And
Toyota.
gave it in Toyota and gave it to Hendricks.
If you actually...
Kyle Hendricks?
Rick Hendrick.
Rick.
Yeah.
If you actually watch the replay, Denny Hamlin tried to go full Austin Dillon at Richmond. Did you see that?
Yeah, he's just going to get down there quick enough.
Could not get down there. Actually, it's probably a good thing he didn't get down there later, because if he had gotten down there when Chase was a little bit past him already and he was at his corner panel, he'd have probably just right rear hook Chase head on into the wall is what he would have done. That's not what happened. Chase Elliott came through, did not lift off of the gas, powered her home, baby. Shout out, round of 8.
Who was it?
Place, right time.
Who was it that ran the outside wall of the track to get around everybody? Who was that?
That was Zane Smith. In a cartoon.
He didn't get around people. He kind of...
Who was it that actually did it and got it? And like
Chastain, you're talking about Ross Chastain.
Ross Chastain,
at
yeah.
Martinsville.
Ross
That's what
Chastain
he's
at
trying to. He's
Martinsville.
trying to Ross Chastain everybody. Good Lord.
What happened is they banned the way Ross Chastain did it. So Zane Smith tried to get creative, didn't know his car was going to flip and bring out a caution.
Ooh.
But hey, shout out to Zane Smith. If Zane Smith doesn't do that, Chase Elliott doesn't get that restart, he wouldn't have had a chance to win otherwise. Shout out to Zane Smith. We'll take it in the number 9 camp. Next week we go to the Roval. That's a tough road course. I'm not a fan of the Roval. I think Charlotte is a good enough track that you can race there without the Roval. Drivers talk about it a lot. There is road courses where it's an actual road course. The Roval is built into the oval at Charlotte, and it is more like racing in a parking lot, basically, is what I've heard drivers refer to it as. I'm a fan of road course racing. I just wish they actually did it at road course tracks. There's plenty of actual road course tracks in North America where they don't have to do that. Just keep the ovals. The 24-hour Rolex Daytona, that's totally different. I like that. That's not NASCAR, though. They don't do that. I think the ovals, what do you think, Nick? Are they good enough to stay?
I like the oval. I like the original, the Roval. I like the original layout when everything was so tight that like half the field wrecked in practice. And it wasn't like one big wreck. It was one at a time.
Shout
all
out
in
to
the same spot.
Yeah, it's usually cars locking up the brakes going into one, if I can remember.
Yeah, going to one, and also the bus stop on the back.
Definitely. That's a tough part of the track. Just Chase Elliott is able to breathe this week. He's already locked into the round of 8. There is some drivers that definitely need a win to advance. Some are already locked in. Some look pretty good on points. I'd say for sure the people probably pretty good on points is Christopher Bell.
What about old boy that wins at the road courses? The one that
SVG.
Yeah, is he in the playoffs?
He got eliminated in the very first round.
Because this right here would do it for him. This is this is his bread and butter.
He's for sure going to be the favorite to win. I think he's won. Has he won every road course this year?
I think he's almost, if not almost.
Yeah.
Did you say the playoffs?
Yeah, it's playoffs right now.
NASCAR is
right
playoffs.
Now. Yeah.
I thought it was like a cut race.
There's points and stuff.
They literally do a playoff in the races.
They're doing it right now.
Yeah,
And they started back at the beginning of September.
Yeah.
Was this a new thing?
No.
I haven't watched racing in a long time, but I've never heard of a playoff in racing.
Well, listen, brother, I just got hit to NASCAR about 6 years ago. And I just found all this out myself.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just
there's it starts off with 16 drivers. After the first 3 races, it goes down to 12. After the next 3 races, they cut down to 8. They race 3 more times and they cut down to 4. And then the last race at Phoenix this year. Next year, it's going back to Homestead, which is nice.
Yeah.
But the last race at Phoenix this year will determine who wins the championship. So
so you get down to 4 drivers for the last race. So if you finish in those 4,
best wins.
dude, that has to be boring. Like to watch it in person, just 4 cars.
Well, there's not
no,
4
it's
cars,
the whole
it's
field.
full field.
But it's where you finish in the field.
Okay.
Yes.
I was literally just like 4 cars, just like
No, that would be awful.
45-minute laps.
And I'm surprised NASCAR hasn't tried to do something like that.
That would be the ultimate.
silly.
That'd be the ultimate. In my mind, that's the ultimate troll. But that's in my mind when you said that. Oh, it takes it down to 4 drivers. I literally envisioned being at a track, wanting to hear the cars and feel the roar and the adrenaline of it. And it's just 4 cars, just like.
To be fair, it sounds like some shit the
Slide around.
NASCAR competition committee would come up with. Huh?
It probably
I'm
would be.
surprised they haven't tried.
Probably would be.
Because
So the next topic we've got some guys here that now listen. I am nowhere near a financial advisor. I don't really do much of that. We've, however, got some guys here that sit to my left and right
I know
that
how to
do know what
spend
they're
money.
talking about a little bit. So what's good in the crypto/stocks world, guys?
Oh, I was trying to figure out where you're going with that. I was like, man, I don't lend money. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Will you lend me some?
And we're
I
not
can spend
experts.
it.
We're not experts.
Yeah, this disclaimer that we're not stock experts.
Definitely not experts. Listen, guys. If you come to the Village Idiots podcast and expect to
professional
hear,
experts,
that's on you.
Yeah, this is not life advice.
That's on you.
We're messing up.
No,
so
we
you don't
dabble.
have to.
We dabble. Something we just picked up. Like me personally, just picked it up within the last About 2 years, a year and a half, almost 2 years now.
I think me and you and Shane got in it together at the same time. Got flipped over by FFIE.
Oh God!
I had never went back.
Shane Frazier
Me
on
too.
that.
Never did you?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Too.
I wonder who convinced me to do that.
Never went back to it. I was done with it.
Hey, listen!
like a
Shout out to our
year.
boy Shane Frazier because he still got them. He ain't sold not one of them.
He's a soldier.
Yeah, that's why he showed me a screenshot of his portfolio. I was like, brother, you still got those? He's like, yeah. If you never sell them, you don't lose your money. And I was like, yeah, but they lost their value. He's like, yeah, but I still got them. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah.
He's gonna be one of them dads when his kids gets older and he end up finally passing away.
They're gonna open up his stock portfolio and be like, what is all this?
No, he's gonna physically just be a pack rat. There's gonna be like 35 storage units full of stuff that he'll never use, and he'll be like, I needed it one day.
You never know.
I'm one of those
Yes,
guys.
you do.
I hold on to stuff way longer
do.
than I should.
I've
Well,
gotten better at it. I
holding-
still do.
Holding on to stuff for longer than you would possibly need it for is not the same as collecting things that you'll never touch.
Well, look, believe it or not, when it comes to
do that
stocks,
too.
that's the secret. Hang on to it for a long time.
Well, yeah, you don't ever know what's going to pop off. RZLV did that. We were just talking about that a minute ago.
Brother, that thing ain't even got close to what they're saying it,
I
speculating it
know.
to get to.
I held it for 9 days and it 285%.
No, they're expecting it to hit about $20 at the end of this year. It's not even all that pop that you caught all the profits off of. That was just the mainstream putting it on to regular day, everyday people. People becoming aware of it.
So what you're saying is I need to get my stocks back. Well, I've still got the stocks. I just don't have the. I think
Well,
I've got
so
the
look,
call
check this
too.
out. Well, I watch this stuff daily, but do you know what shorts are? You know when people
Yeah.
short stock? So it's being heavily shorted right now because their earnings call is literally tomorrow morning before the stock market opens.
Oh, I can't wait until it
Yeah.
blows up. I wake up in the morning, I put 50 into it, and it's worth like $700.
Well, I'm still sitting on those 3 options I had earlier.
Logan, it
Yeah,
has
mine
got to
shares.
be incredibly hard for you to do stocks. Do you have to try to log into your account on your phone 10 different times before you're able to get in?
No, luckily Robinhood, they'll do it one time, just one. It does take about 2 minutes for the app and all that to open up and
His
load
phone
up, but
starts smoking.
You guys will
it'll run it. It'll run it.
You guys will hear probably every week until he upgrades. You guys will hear shots taken.
Hey,
We're going to start a
upgrade won't
GoFundMe
even
just
be
off
an
this one
upgrade.
podcast so we can get Logan a new phone.
The upgrade won't even be a real upgrade.
At this
It
point,
won't even be
anything is an
current.
upgrade.
He's going to get the upgrade and be like, I don't know what to do with this thing. They're gonna have to, but if
It
you
says
upgrade, you can
2023. That's an upgrade,
you
baby.
cannot upgrade if you upgrade to another Android. You have got to get into the real world.
Nope.
Get into it.
You've
Not
got
doing
to
it.
get on an Apple
the ice.
device.
Can't do it.
Why?
I
can't you?
don't want
Why are you religious to Android so
You
much?
can't or you won't.
Our
won't.
technicians,
You're on
our
Android?
technicians proving me wrong.
Well, see, listen, Androids is more customizable. iPhones are more locked and secure and protection and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I kinda like that.
Well, you know,
All my stuff's stolen.
everybody's already got
what
it
are
already.
you customizing?
Well, I'm just saying,
Look,
I
it's in my
don't. You're
bank
right.
account,
I don't
don't care.
customize too
Okay,
much.
then.
But listen,
So
listen,
your
listen.
whole
Hear
point
me out.
then-
Hold up. I'm just saying it's an option, but you can customize every widget on your every
I do that with my
everything
iPhone.
that's on your
iPhones do that.
They
They-
don't know.
Dude, so
It's
listen,
I can rename
It's
mine.
different.
This is not
I've heard-
2016.
I've heard for years, I've heard I'm only going to go Android because they do this and they do that. I would much rather my phone not do that stuff and me never get hacked. Just hands down. Trust me, I had an Android once upon a time for 3 days and I took it back. And I got an iPhone because I was like, nope, I
My
can't
wife
do
did
it.
that a couple months ago. She upgraded her phone, wanted to upgrade her phone, got one of them fold
Yeah.
phones. She had it for a weekend and then took it back because she didn't like it. She had to go back to her iPhone.
I think it has to do with what you started with. So if you didn't start with the 3 or the 3G or the 3GS and you didn't follow it up, then it's easier. But if you did, you can't go to Android. Same thing with Android. If you started when they started making the Galaxies and whatnot, and then you go 7 tiers of phone of whatever type of Android it is, then you try to cross over to Apple, it's just
That's
you
the
just
boat I'm
don't
currently
get it.
rowing
You
in.
just get used to
That's
one
my
It
boat.
takes time because even when I had there was the LG, it had the touch button on the back. And
That's
the
what I
center of
got.
it.
Yeah, the
So-
fingerprint.
Yeah.
button.
So
Yep.
when it first come out, I got one. I was like, man, this phone's sick. And I had it for 3 days. And I was like, this phone sucks. I just couldn't get it to do anything.
Well, that's my everyday home, brother.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Eventually, this is going to cut
Could
his
get you
phone
a
off.
cake and some flowers, maybe some balloons. It says get well soon.
Eventually, the network is just going to cut his phone off. We don't support that phone no more.
Eventually, it's just going to straight up stop.
We've really tried, but it's over.
I think it'd be fine. I mean, I haven't. Look, this is what's wild. I thought about this because you guys give me so much crap.
It's
This
all
phone
love.
that I have.
It's all love. You
But
know
listen,
that.
hear me out. So this phone that I have, because you guys remember when I got smushed back in 2017, right?
That's a whole nother story for a whole
that
nother
is
day.
It is. But listen, so the phone that I had then was old and all that crap, right? And even after I got ran over and it was broken, it still worked, and I used it for a little while. But the phone that I currently have now is just the next phone that I bought, and that was back in 2018.
That is wild. That is very outdated. For
My man's just running around out here almost a decade behind.
Hey,
I can't say nothing because a couple years ago when I was at my old job, my old boss, his kids got him a new iPhone for Christmas. This was like 2021. He got him the iPhone 6.
Ugh.
That was new for him.
When was this?
Like 2020, 2021.
They were on like the
Like he had an
iPhone
iPhone 5
Pegasus
for years.
22 at that point.
Yeah, he still got the took the when the phone
More like the
cases still
10?
fit.
A 6 is from like 2012, ain't it?
Yeah, it's back when the phone cases still fit.
Did he still have the original Angry Birds on there?
I don't think he had any phone or any games on his phone.
You just use a calculator to make calls and a handful of text before it
Pretty
shut
much.
down. The battery died. Golly.
what's the next topic, brother? What you got?
The next topic. Oh, you're trying to get to these video games, huh?
Oh, yeah.
No, I mean, we
Video
ain't got
games.
to, no rush. But
Can we touch back on football for a second?
We sure can.
Okay.
We sure can.
Did y'all see where that lady took the headband out of the kids?
for the kid, yeah.
I did see that.
And
I
then
did
she
see that.
tried to like defend herself.
Are you, well, hold on. Are you mixing two stories together? Because there was a lady that took a baseball from a kid.
No,
Yeah.
this
And then
no,
she
this
like
is
went
the
up against the
Giants,
dad.
the
The dad
homies
was
took
like,
his game worn headband off and he went to hand it to a kid, and the woman grabbed it and like
Took it out.
like really yanked that in. And the kid's like,
They got her on TV doing it.
no,
then
internet, do
she
your
doubled
thing.
down.
Find
They did.
this
and
lady.
like he was handing it to me, and like she tried to defend herself, but
Was this weekend?
yes,
She'll be fired Monday.
but thankfully, out of the good graces out of her heart, she's gonna let the kid have it. Out of her good graces.
I hope they do the same thing to that kid they did the kid with the baseball. They give him an RV to travel to the World Series or whatever. Like, just do it up.
They hooked that kid.
Yes,
up,
they
buddy.
did.
Let me tell you,
It was
that
better.
kid got a way better deal from that lady taking his.
Oh
ball.
my
I
God,
want someone to
yes.
steal a ball from me.
What happened?
So there was a
I can't.
baseball game.
Yeah, it's an
There was
MLB
a-
game, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a home run hit. I think it was a home run. There was a home run hit, and a little kid. You know, in baseball, they just kind of go into a bleacher, and then it's kind of just everyone's to get.
Yeah.
So there was a race to this ball, and the dad ended up getting it for his kid, and some complete Karen walked over. Karen haircut, everything fit this lady to a T, as being a Karen, and she's making a big stink about it. The dad kind of just gave in, which that's
Probably
not the
didn't.
most,
I don't think it helped
that
very
is
much.
not the most clutch moment for the dad, by the way.
He just wanted her to leave.
Oh,
That was the
when
whole-
she approached him, he had zero survival skills. Dude was
None.
like
Shaking in his
he-
boots.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he did nothing. Like it was.
Shaking in
I
his
could get it. Like
I'm gonna have to
somebody
look this
comes up
up.
yelling at you and like it scares you, and you just kind of go into like fight or flight mode. And he went into
He
like
was full
flight
light.
mode. Yeah.
Yes, he was.
F-22.
When did this happen?
It was about
probably
about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is recent.
I don't know if it was like a. I don't remember what team it was.
It was the Phillies. It
was
was
the
the Phillies,
Phillies?
and it was a ball that Harrison Bader hit. After the game, they took this kid to the back. They hooked him up with
They
all kinds of
signed all
merchandise.
kinch of stuff for him. Like we're gonna give
Signed.
you and your dad an RV for free to go
Yeah.
to the World Series and
Meet and greet.
VIP
Like
tickets
gave
and stuff.
them the whole RV, not just like we're gonna loan you the team.
No, it's just. I think it's a rented RV,
Oh,
but it's
okay.
just like
Okay.
here.
I was
But
gonna
hang
buy
on.
one.
But they're
that
paying
sounds
for it. It's a free trip from wherever they live to
the
wherever the
World
World
Series.
Series ends up being.
That's nice.
So
Yeah.
that kid definitely got the way better deal.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what happens, though. That's what happens. Karma is,
She did get fired.
Yeah.
she
Who did?
absolutely got fired.
The lady that took the baseball from the kids.
Is that why
she
you made
did-
that joke
yeah.
about the lady with the headband?
She's gonna be
and the
fired
kid?
Monday.
Okay, I didn't get that. I was like, that's a little extreme for somebody just taking the kid's headband.
Dude, you can't do
But
anything.
she like
the-
yanked it out of the kid's hand. Like
Yes.
literally like yanked it out of the kid's hand.
like didn't just like someone had their hand on it and then like she just beat like that kid's
The kid
grip.
was holding it and
like
she walked
for
up
a
and was
good
like-
10 seconds and she walked up and was like yoink and the dad was just not, he didn't do anything. But that's what I'm saying, dude. Like we've had this conversation on several like Discord chats with each other or just like in person. Like you're always being watched. Like if you do something like that and you think that just because you're somewhere where they're just taping the game or videotaping, I was like, an old man, video in the game, and like they zoom in on you and it's never going to go anywhere. Dude, people have got their phones out as soon as that stuff happens. It's going to get documented, and you're not going to get away from that. Stuff's going to come back and bite you. It's a good thing. I mean, because it keeps people from feeling like they're invisible in public and just doing whatever they want to do. But I mean, it's kind of a bad thing. It's kind of scary if you think about it. Like,
in the world of social media, there's very minimal you can get away with, especially if you're acting like an asshole in public like that lady was.
Absolutely.
And I don't know. So as far as her losing her job and everything, that's her livelihood. I don't know if that sucks.
How do you fire somebody like that? Like, hey, you.
What do you tell them?
Yeah,
what do
like,
you say?
well, how do you not skirt the line of like you discriminatorily fired her or like unjustly?
It's just a bad image for the company.
Very bad image.
Well,
with the company.
Tennessee is a I almost said a right to work. It's
well, that's not Tennessee, brother. That was Philadelphia.
No, that's here. We are.
Oh, we are. Yes.
We're an at-will employment state, so they can fire you at any moment.
Well, that's like with all this whole Charlie Kirk stuff coming out with the people crying about losing their jobs. I'm like, you guys don't understand that you're not. If you're employed by the government, you can't be fired for saying crazy stuff like that. But if you're employed by a private entity or by a company, that's owned by an individual, and they can fire you. They're not the government.
Let's not get too far to that. But yes, I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you. Like it was a huge debate on social media right after all that happened, when people talking about that, like, oh, you're stripping people's rights and stuff like that. And it's like, there's clarification lines for that kind of stuff. Like, the biggest thing that, because I don't know if y'all even watch any kind of shows on TV, like, that are older, but me and my wife have been watching this show called Below Deck. Really cool show. It's basically about a mega yacht, and it's a bunch of seasons about how a captain and this crew come together, and they cater to 6 to 10 charters of a season for all these guests and stuff like that. And one of the captains on there's named Captain Lee. And I like what he said. He has 2 rules when you get on that boat. No matter if you're a deckhand, if you're a steward or a bosun, or if you're like first officer or whatever it is that you are. Anytime anybody got on that boat, he immediately said, don't do anything to embarrass yourself. Don't do anything to embarrass the boat, and we'll be fine.
That's exactly right.
And that's, and that's... And when people do things like that, an embarrassment comes from not just like going out and getting drunk and doing something stupid. Like, you don't perform like a functional task of your job, and you get fired.
So you're saying like just the fact that she walked up to that man and took the ball from him, he was all shaking. It was all on TV. And
it was everywhere.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It was probably, I think you said it, like, it's bad. Or no, it was actually Nick. Nick said it. It's bad for the company. It makes the company look bad. Yeah. Like, I'm sure that's probably the original intent, but how do you fire somebody without being like, hey, you took that ball from that child, your job's gone? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you do that?
You made us look bad on national television.
Out, and there's the door.
I feel like there's going to be a lawsuit.
There definitely could be.
I'm sure that as strong-willed as she was over a baseball, there's going to be
she's a complete Karen. There's totally going to be a lawsuit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she was so strong-willed to steal that baseball from that child with no remorse until she got called out. She's definitely going to have enough will to come back on them and be like, here you go.
She tried to double down, too, like that with the headband lady, because she tried to say, like, it was in her area, but she was, like, a row up from where the dad picked the ball up. Like, she wasn't even in the same row where he reached down and picked the ball up.
So the headband one may slide under the radar for a technicality.
Yeah.
But the baseball one,
no.
Like, I'm not like saying it's stupid or anything. Like, it may not get even touched. There's a good chance that it probably won't.
Speaking, yeah. I've got something to kind of go back to for, we talked about doing a segment, short little segment with Crazy Kyle.
Oh, Lord.
Should we give him a call?
Are you trying to do that?
Let's do it.
I don't know if that's the smartest idea right now.
Do we want to do that?
I don't know.
We could finish it on. You trying to finish it?
We can't really dial him in. You wouldn't be able to really hear him that well. Let's save that for another time.
Yeah. Let's try that.
Maybe the second episode. We got to at least get going before we get canceled.
Yeah. We'll leave Crazy Kyle. We'll
I like that screensaver, by the way.
Oh man,
it's a Game Boy.
Apple.
Yeah.
Apple.
Yep, you can get them.
I'd probably do it on Android too.
Doubt it.
Oh, look, hey, hey.
That one, he's actually
And
got
that's- and
the
that's a
original Game Boy.
classic,
That's
yes.
the color. That was the
Yes.
original one where you had to, like, if you were in the back of your car, you had to play your game, and if a street light come by, you're still trying to
towards
follow
the window
it.
so you could see with the
Yep.
street lights. Yes.
Yeah, you couldn't turn your lights on in your car because your parents said it was illegal.
I got a crazy story.
He
but
knows what I'm talking
Let's
about.
hear it.
No,
Yeah,
I don't know if episode
yeah,
one.
Click it. And,
Let's say that for another one. Let's keep it. Let's,
I'm cultured, so
what?
I'm cold. I said I'm cultured.
Are you cultured?
I thought you said you're cold turkey.
No,
and I was
cultured.
like, what?
No, just when I was in the
out to being cultured.
second or third grade, I spent the night with a buddy's house, and we stayed with Shade.
We are going into this. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I mean, it's nothing too crazy, but
It was
let's just say-
advertised.
well, you know, his family was of African American descent. You know what I mean?
Let's stop right there.
No, but listen, hold up. So, anyways, I'm in the backseat of the car. We're playing the Game Boy. It's at night, and this is my first introduction to how a black family functions. And I'm in the backseat talking about, I can't see. His mama turns around with no problems and says, "Boy, I don't want to hear anything about that Game Boy anymore. Turn it off." I said, "Yes, ma'am," and cut it off. I was like, "Wow, okay." She has no problem talking to me like I'm one of her own.
Yeah.
All right now.
when you were in their care, you were theirs.
But yeah, I just remember doing that in the back seat. Just every time I think about playing at night, a Game Boy at night, that's what I think of. That
So
memory.
from
Is that
then
why
on,
you would
you've been
be
cultured?
playing it for too long and you're like, you know what, I got to turn it off?
Yeah.
Mama's voice is in the back of your head, like, turn that thing off.
see, that's how I was raised. Whenever I went to stay somewhere, my parents were like, if he acts up, whoop him. Whoop him.
It's a different time now. You can't do that anymore.
So different time.
Yeah. So yeah, well let's actually segue down since I know me and Logan do more of the gaming. I don't know how much do you play?
We've
I used to
got.
play a lot, but here lately it's kind of died down.
There's actually a big game coming out this next week, guys. Shout out NASCAR 25.
Yeah, it is.
That's a big thing.
I
Get it
think
Friday. when I
isn't
get
it a week or two after that Battlefield 6 comes out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've pre-ordered that. I have said no to the Call of Duty Legacy after that last absolute dumpster fire of a game. It was horrible. I can't believe I even paid for Black Ops.
I've got a squad for you when you get Battlefield 6.
I'm-
buddy.
I've got a
decided to
ton
be
of people that
disappointed
like
about
we were
NASCAR.
all avid COD players and we're like, nah,
These are OG Battlefield players, brother. These are dudes that have been playing with me for like the last 5 or 6 Battlefields.
I don't want to be on that team then.
We're good.
That's the point.
Come on.
I'm not.
Yeah, we squad up, baby.
But-
I feel that way too.
I'm
I feel that way,
excited.
too. I hate being a liability out there.
Oh, that's okay. You're a distraction for the good players.
I'm
you know
a-
what I mean? I
well-
use you as fodder.
Don't get me wrong. I'm highly excited that it's coming out. And the main thing I'm really excited about is the movement goblins are gone. That was the hardest thing to do. You cannot shoot people on Black Ops 6 because you can't see them and you cannot catch them. But for some reason, they have this overage of skill where they have learned to move 3 times faster than the speed of light and still tap you.
You gotta adjust your sensitivity. Turn it all the way up.
Bro,
Is this Call of Duty, you said?
have you played Call of Duty in the last 3 games?
I'm not a Call of Duty guy, my boy. I've
Get
been
on it.
playing Battlefield.
Like, if you ever get a chance and someone owns it, don't buy it. If someone has it at their house, get on it. Play one match of anything you want to play. Could be hardcore, could be core, any version of any game you want to play. Smoked. It's not like if you haven't played it for a long time, you won't win. You just can't beat movement mechanics on that
just
game.
can't do
They're just
anything.
too fast.
Just like you spawn in and die within 10 seconds.
Yeah, but not like the original, like Modern Warfare is like you just die because like it'd count down, the match would start, you toss a grenade and you just die because someone tossed, they lagged a grenade all the way across the map. It's not like that. It's
I
just,
used to love doing that.
oh yeah, everyone did. But like dude, Black Ops 6 has gotten to a point to where there's just so much. And what I mean by movement is literal movement. Like these people are slide canceling. They're just, you just can't see them. They can break your camera by sliding past you really close to you really quick, even if your sensitivity's turned up. And it's aim assist. If your aim assist is on, as they catch, it catches, and as soon as they move, it slows you down for a second. So you just get melted. I hated that part about that game. I'll tell you another game that's really good that's come out. I don't know that any of you three have played it. Ready or not?
The
I
SWAT
have
game?
not.
Yes.
I have not.
I have not.
It
I've not
is
played it.
real. Dude, one of the levels is actually modeled after the Miami nightclub shooting. It's called Neon Tomb. It's literally the mission that they went on. It's insane.
That's pretty dope.
And it's like, as you're in there, I'm sure you could turn all this stuff off, but it's like a literal active nightclub. Music is as loud as it can be. It's dark in spots, but there's a lot of light in other spots. It's like you have to really use your senses. But if anybody's ever played, and I'm going to say this to explain this, the movement on that game, if you've ever played R6, Rainbow Six, Siege,
Yeah.
it's like that.
Tactical.
It's really slow.
Very tactical.
There's no slides. You can't move very quick. It's very micro movement instead of macro movement like it is on Call of Duty. You cannot stick out. If you stick out, you're dead. Even if you play, like there's 3 modes you can play, but casual, standard, and hard. Hard mode, it's headshots all day from AI. And that's the other thing. It's PvC. There's no PvP. You're not playing any real people. All the real people are on your team. So it's all computers.
It's all team based.
But they're all. From what I've been told, in the way that it seems like this game goes, they're AI generated, but they're AI random generated. So they don't ever spawn in the same place. They don't ever react the same way. So sometimes you can go into places you played the same map 4 times. Yeah, or even 100 times. They're always going to be in a different area, and sometimes they respond differently to if you like throw a flash at them, or if you they have stuff in there with non-lethal weapons called pepper ball guns, which is literally what it sounds like. It's pepper spray in a ball. If you hit somebody with it, it peppers them, so it'll stun them immediately. It's the most insane game.
And that's called Ready or Not?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's I can't remember what studio made it, but it's like
it's only $39.99. I looked it up the other day.
$39.99,
Yeah.
so $20 each for us.
Pro tip: if you do buy that game, if you buy the deluxe edition, it does give you all the DLC, but it gives you 3 extra guns. It gives you 2 extra launchers and a handgun that I don't get. Even if I buy the regular mode and buy all the DLC after, it's the same price. But if you buy the deluxe mode up front, it gives you all the extra DLC, and it gives you these extra guns. You can't carry a primary launcher. Like you can't carry like a flash launcher, a gas launcher, anything. There's a stinger launcher that's like when it hits the ground, it blows out the rubber balls everywhere. You can't carry those as a regular character if you don't have that deluxe edition. If you have that deluxe edition, it gives you that stuff. Otherwise, it's secondary, and you only have like 4 pods. But if you carry the primary, you can actually add like flashbangs in your deployables, which is whatever you can throw. If you add those in, that's ammo for your primary launcher.
Okay.
My dude was running around with like 65 flashes, handing the sun to people on every map. No one could kill us.
That'd be me?
Dude.
That'd be me?
Just straight up, just nuclear melting people's retinas, just straight out of their heads.
That kind of reminds me when we're on our mission with GTA. We've got to go in and take out a group of bikers or something. You know, we pull up. I'm whipping out the RPG, the missiles.
John said most lethal.
I'm coming in hard, boys.
Heavy.
Coming hard.
For no reason.
Hard.
And I'm like, you realize this is a recovery mission, right? And we're trying not to
John.
blow stuff up. And he's like, oh, yeah, sorry, I just slung a couple rockets. Well, I'll put it away.
Yeah.
I'm like, too late, dog.
That was me on the it's not called the Osprey. What's the flying motorcycle? I forgot what it's called.
The Oppressor Mark
The
II.
Oppressor.
Shout
Yeah.
out the Oppressor. That thing is a cheat code. I am so glad I have that. I actually re-downloaded GTA because we don't ever play the WWE game that we bought. Mm-hmm. I re-downloaded GTA and uninstalled the WWE.
It'll always be in your library.
It'll
You can
always
go
be
back.
there. It'll always be there. So
I
we
mean,
actually...
I'd rather play GTA.
Yeah.
I don't know though. Shout out GTA 5 for taking my Oppressor and never giving it back.
Oh, no, I told you. I didn't explain this. I explained this to him the other day. So there's this feature in the game I wish it would fix. If all of your parking garage spaces are taken up and you go park it into one of your parking garage and there's no place for your vehicle to go, it will just delete a car completely out of your...
That's correct.
Good to know that's not what happened.
It'll just
It did that to
get rid
me
of it.
when I won it on the little spinning wheel. I won a call, and because I didn't have no space when I clicked the garage, it's like,
No way.
Psych.
Yep.
and-
That's not what happened to me
and
though. It
Rockstar
actually got
pretty much said too bad.
Hey, mine got blown up in front of the casino, and then I respawned in front of the casino and tried to like go back to, was it Moore's Mutual or whatever it is that you have on there? That's probably a real insurance company. I'm probably wrong. Whatever
No,
the
that's it.
insurance
Moore's
company
Mutual.
is, yeah. And you pay it to try to get it like
What does
replaced.
it do for you?
It wasn't in inventory at all. It
They're
just
just
like
like what Oppressor?
Not only did they blow it up, they completely deleted it from my game.
$9.2 million
It's not in the
on
back
this
of
and
one
all
of
the
your trucks,
upgrades,
is
but
it?
you don't have it anymore.
He asked me to do that too. What was the command center truck? I looked in that too. Not there.
The mobile operations.
Yeah, it wasn't in the back of there. Literally went to, well, there's like two
I told
repos.
them how to open up your menu and go through all your vehicle
Yeah.
that you see them in the garage.
Yeah,
and
I got too many for that.
There, it's not there.
Yeah.
I needed to get into that RP glitch.
Rockstar, if you're listening, help get my boy's Oppressor
Please
back.
give me
That's
my
literally
Oppressor back.
all he wants.
I will literally play GTA 5 again if I can get that back.
Look, the whole.
Well, you're probably going to have to because I don't think this GTA 6 is going to come
Oh,
out.
see, that's what I was wanting to get to.
It's-
This is.
listen,
Is it cross-platform?
They haven't said yet.
I hope so.
They'll probably
I'm-
get pushed back 5 more times.
We just
before they,
asked Rockstar to do something nice for us, so I don't want to talk dirty, but you know.
Well, it's not talking dirty.
Well, listen,
we
here's-
love
so
them.
listen.
We just want them to deliver on their promise.
So all of these Call of Duties and Fortnites and PUBGs and all this stuff, right?
PUBG sucks.
But listen. You can play all that crap cross-platform. You can play it with Switches. You can play them with
Ready or
right?
Not is actually
Xbox
cross-platform
One.
through
You can
Epic's
still play like
database.
you can still play PS4 games
Yeah.
with some games are still okay. If they can do that and that's still a thing, why have they not done it for Rockstar 5 or GTA 5? It's out. It's been out on 3 different
I'll tell you
generations
why.
of consoles.
I will tell you why.
I know why. It's money. I get it.
It's microtransactions.
Yes, I know. But that's my fear that they're not going to do a GTA 6. I think they're going to just keep cashing on that money bag and just keep making it. Everyone's going to have to buy their own version.
It's divide and conquer, dude. If they divide all of the people that are already at war with each other from different platforms, they're going to try to outdo the PlayStation player if they're Xbox or
so
PC if they're not.
PlayStation is actually so I don't know if you guys know this, not because I'm the Grand Theft Auto junkie, but Rockstar and PlayStation have had a partnership of like exclusives or deals since like the late '90s, early 2000s. They've been the first ones to put out Grand Theft Auto 3. They got GTA 3 was the primary
dude,
release
I remember
on
the old
PS2.
GTAs when I was like a bubby and you just walk around
Yeah,
like
that's
farting and
PS1.
burping.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing to do.
But so the PS5 version will probably be the best version because it's Sony and Rockstar have a little deal together.
Look, I am avid Sony,
I know you are.
but I'm going to tell you that's probably not going to happen.
You don't think so?
No, dude. Our frame rate is capped, and that game
60 is fine.
What?
60 is fine.
is capped at 120.
That's fine.
No, it is fine, but I don't want fine. I want to be able to see, like, from across the street. I want to see your chin stubble. You
That's
can't.
next
That's
gen
just.
console.
that'll be on the.
Well, they put out the
PS6.
PS5 Pro, and they're like, no disc, and you're gonna have to buy the power cable this time. Yeah, they're just gonna Apple everybody.
No cords.
No,
nothing.
no, just a console.
Because you know
Good luck.
the video, the trailer they put out, you know that was filmed on a PS5.
Pro.
Like they was playing it on a PS5.
So the only way that I think that they could have filmed that on a PS5 and got that kind of graphic content is if they put it through something that was able to push out a higher graphical content than the PS5 was. There's no way.
PS5
That's
Pro
totally
runs
possible.
60 frames per second. That's what that was
Dude,
on.
60 was the PS4. 120 is the PS5 standard. So it would have to be 240 for the Pro. There's no way it's capped off at 60 on this. 60 frames per second
No, I'm not saying the console. I'm talking about the game.
is capped at 60 frames per second.
That's what all the trailers the 2 trailers we've seen, all the
For
screenshots.
real?
Yeah, that's
Dude,
all
that's
at
like
60.
VHS quality.
Well,
But it looks good. Tech is confirming.
it's that's what I'm saying. That's what I see.
I have
it's
seen.
Fine. It's
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've seen 0 trailers for GTA 6. I know. I need to watch some.
It's okay. Give it 2 more months and we'll get the actual
Taylor,
gameplay
like
trailer.
Logan over here.
Cross your fingers.
No, I'm serious. That's
I
how.
hope.
No, I'm telling you, I'm serious.
Weren't they supposed to release like this month?
No. So
And then
they
next
have
month?
this
No, that's
weird
just
little
a game.
trend.
And then the month later?
Oh yeah.
They have a trend. Listen to the guy who's done all the rabbit holes on this crap.
How do you do that on your old phone and not blow
I
up?
have a computer.
Is it a desktop?
This is working.
It's a laptop.
Oh, he did upgrade in that area.
So GTA 5 and Red Dead 2, the way they dropped the first trailer,
That's
second
Rockstar
trailer,
too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all Rockstar.
Okay.
So the way they did those trailers and the gameplay, the way all of them were released were exactly the same. They dropped it. The first trailer was almost 2 years from the actual official release date. Then 1 year after that, they dropped the second trailer. And then a month before the game came out, they started pumping you full of like all of the cool gameplay stuff.
Well, even when the last trailer come out, I didn't see anything on it at all. Like not Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, nothing. which is wild to me.
Did you for the first one though, right? I'm sure.
I have seen 0 trailers. I've seen 0 gameplay.
We'll have to get on that.
Yeah, I need to see it.
You should.
Yeah.
There is one thing. We're gonna have to wrap this up soon. We'll go to some current events here. There was
We kind of
an
already did that,
announcement.
didn't we? A little bit.
This is like trending stuff, I guess.
Okay.
We can talk about
Newsworthy.
It's pretty newsworthy. I think there was a Super Bowl halftime show announcement.
Oh, yeah.
Bad Bunny.
Listen,
Yeah, dude.
Can we not? Can we just not?
I think they're just trying to change up who gets to pick, isn't it? Jay-Z
Well,
and them that pick the
you gotta.
halftime show.
I think
I
it's.
don't know, but I don't
think
speak
they're-
Spanish,
They're,
Well,
so I don't know his music.
I think they're aiming backwards.
But she wouldn't do it for free. Taylor Swift, but she wouldn't do it for
she's
free.
already done it for free.
Yeah, they all do it for free.
I just don't think she wanted to be a repeat offender.
They get paid. They
Yeah.
just get paid by
did a
Pepsi
Super Bowl
and not the
halftime?
NFL.
I think in like 21 or 22, she did one.
I don't.
I can't remember. It had been.
I don't remember that.
Look, I watch football regularly. I don't think.
She has done a Super Bowl once or twice, or once, not once, twice.
I'll take your word for it.
I could be wrong.
Give it a go.
Absolutely.
Give it a go.
Yeah.
She don't want to do it for free. Which
We get Theo on it. Hey, Ryder,
I
can you
don't
look up
blame
the
her.
last time Taylor Swift
she
played a
don't
Super
need,
Bowl?
She don't need the promotion
She doesn't. She doesn't.
like the NFL says they do for like these artists.
Well, you know, if her team ends up getting into the Super Bowl, it's going to be like she's playing it anyway because everyone's going to show up.
That's what happened last year.
Yeah,
that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
that may be what I'm thinking.
But
Because she was like the
She was
hottest
just in,
thing
yeah, she was just in attendance. She didn't even do anything
until
brother.
Kendrick
Like,
come out, and that was.
That was.
Hey.
Listen, I don't
Bam,
listen to
bam,
rap,
bam.
but I watched that whole halftime show. That man is an absolute god at what he does. I don't listen to rap like that, so I know who he is from some of his earlier tracks. From like like shout out Saints Row. Money Trees was on there, all that stuff.
Oh,
like,
was it?
Is that one and
Swimming Pools was on
Swimming
GTA
Pools
5.
was.
That's on GTA
Swimming
5.
Pools was also on there. Good stuff. It was great in the game. Like they kind of Saints Row does the same thing, but like I didn't actively go outside of those to like try to hear more of
You
his
just
stuff.
heard him and
I just
you messed with him. You
yeah.
rocked him. Yeah.
If I ever heard him on a track and someone was playing around me, I wouldn't like turn that shit off. I was just like, that sounds good. I like him, but I didn't actively go reach out for him. But when I watched that halftime show, it was great. The way he set it up, everything, all the transitions, the songs. I think it was great that he still held on to doing the main one that everyone was like, he ain't gonna do it. Because Drake was watching TV at home. He's like,
Absolutely.
he ain't gonna say it.
Drake.
He ain't gonna say it.
Drake was so watching that halftime
Oh,
show.
yeah.
And he was probably big mad.
He had to.
Here's the thing, though. Roger
Yeah, I do.
Goodell, if you listen to this, if you hear this, can we get some Creed up in there or something?
Yeah,
Listen,
again.
14% of the U.S. speak Spanish. Nobody, I could see if there was a big soccer game that he did, a FIFA event, where there's a lot more of a Latin culture there. 14% of America speaks Spanish. The majority of the people watching this game are not going to understand what he is saying.
I'm willing to bet that he translates a lot of it to English.
Maybe his show's about the vibe and less about like let's do a Spanish. I'm sure
exactly.
he'll do a song or two in Spanish.
What I was
but-
saying, like when we first started on that, was I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to reach back into generations because they're about to be the ones that watch football to kind of create a good experience for them so that they continue to watch football. Like, oh, Bad Bunny did it one year, maybe another one. But they'll watch the whole season just to see who does the Super Bowl.
Also, what kind of name is Bad Bunny? Is that where music has gotten to, where dudes are calling themselves Bad Bunny? Can you imagine? So we grew up, we grew up in the late 90s, early 2000s. Bad Bunny?
But
Really?
shit, every time I hear his name, for some reason, I immediately think about the Catch Me Outside girl.
Isn't that Danielle Bregoli?
Why? Because when she first started, like, in that, she's like, bad Barbie.
Oh, no.
Bad
Yeah,
Bad
Bad
Barbie.
Baby.
Bad
Bad
Baby.
Baby,
Bad Baby,
yeah. I
yeah.
couldn't remember that. I knew because I remember
Every time I hear
seeing.
Bad Bunny, I'm like, oh.
I think everybody and their mom has
Catch Me
seen that Dr.
Outside.
Phil episode.
Catch Me
Golly.
Outside?
Cash me outside.
Me
How about
Outside.
How
that?
about that?
You say catch them outside. Oh man, that's great.
Well, guys, I think that about wraps it up.
Yeah.
We hope you guys have had a good listening pleasure. We are unsure exactly. I think we might be here next week. We will keep that open.
We'll set it up. Yeah.
Set it up for next week. Yeah, we'll be here. We might even be here all the time. We don't know yet. We're still kind of working out the things here. But I consider this a successful first episode.
I would
Yeah.
agree.
I think so.
Go over. You can probably find this episode. You can for sure find it on Spotify. You'll probably be able to find it anywhere you get podcasts. We plan for this to be on YouTube. I think that's what's going to happen.
YouTube, Facebook, probably
Facebook.
Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah. So, follow the Village Idiots. Follow Big Step and Media. You'll see some more stuff from Big Step and Media eventually as we kind of grow that. There will be kind of some specific things each one of us do to promote that. And there will be a lot of umbrella things that we do together on that too. But the Village Idiots, that's this podcast here. You'll be able to find that, like I said, all the socials. So keep out, look for it. Make sure you like and subscribe. Smash that like button if you can. Don't break your phone. Logan, you might not have a subscribe button, but do it all. Do it all. Get it to your channels, and make sure you leave positive reviews.
Yeah,
please.
One more shout out to the people who powered us today. Lendingham Mortgage. If it weren't for them, we would have not been able to rip this first one off.
Huge
Absolutely. I was going to give them a shout out myself.
Yeah, BS Media for backing us up. I'm sponsoring. I'm not doing a huge thing for sponsoring, but I think it's great that we are able to come together and just talk about random stuff because it's like the boys in the old times.
That's great. That's great.
Agree.
This has been in the works for a few months, so it's good to finally get it kicked off. Hopefully, we'll be on a regular Tuesday routine. And we've enjoyed the show.